Sup, y'all? Welcome to the first episode of a new show that we're calling here on CrossForge Gaming. The name of the show is Across the Forge.
Sup, y'all? Welcome to
If I had, I need to
first
mute
episode
my live
of-
stream so that I'm not hearing it. If I had had enough time to do any prep, you would have seen a nice little graphic come up on the screen and tell you that. But you're just gonna have to deal with my lovely face and my silky smooth voice.
Imagination.
Today this is the first episode of what's hopefully will be a not a wrong running, that'd be weird, a long running series where I and other CrossForge Gaming staff and members and stuff will interview a special guest. That guest might have something to say about esports. They might have something to say about theology. Maybe they just run a store that we like. My phone is ringing, and I'll bet you that's my wife having forgotten that I'm doing this right now. Anyway, so that's this. Today, we're going to be talking to Andrew Winningham. He is a Hearthstone player. At least that's what I know about him right now.
I actually haven't played Hearthstone for quite a while. Actually, I've been mostly playing PUBG.
Okay, so
But I am keeping up with Hearthstone. I know pretty much all the new expansion and all that.
That's good. So he's an esports player from the Wichita, Kansas area. So we're gonna talk to him. But if you've ever seen a show on this, you know that before we do anything, you have to watch an animated logo. So let's do that right now. All right. So this is Andrew. Say hi, Andrew.
Hey guys, I'm Andrew. Nice to meet you all. Glad to be here.
Sweet. So we were talking a little bit before the show, but go ahead and tell our viewers who you are and what you do.
My IGN is Rykar. I currently am contracted to play for the esports organization SetToDestroyX for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I'm currently sitting about rank 50 in North America, as far as I know. And I also, my job outside of that is esports coordinator for Butler Community College. We are just starting to get a program up and running. We're hoping to do a tournament here in October and deploy it to multiple games past that point, as well as forming teams and a whole bunch of stuff they got planned.
Cool. So the community college thing is this. I know like some colleges are starting to offer like scholarships for this, like it's football or something. Is that your college doing that?
Not right now, but it is in the works. Right now, they really want to hold an event and kind of test the waters a little bit, see if it's something they want to really commit to. Just because a lot of the people that I'm talking to about it are the older generation. They just have no idea what esports is at all.
Right. When I first told my wife, like, hey, I want to do this esports thing on the internet, I was really afraid that she was going to be like, what? You need to be working. But she was actually, at first, she was really hesitant. Like, she wasn't real on board. But then I started telling her, like, I think it was in 2014, the League of Legends World Championship, more people watched that than the NBA finals tournament.
Yeah, I think it rivaled the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So when I told her that, and I'm like, look, there's something here, and CrossForge Gaming having that sort of Christian twist, I was like, as far as I know, there's not anyone in the church really seriously. I mean, like I searched on Google for Christian esports groups, and there's little groups here and there, but it seems almost more like it's a hobby to them.
So you started CrossForge back in 2014. Are you the creator and owner of it?
We didn't start till last year.
Okay.
This was just that data was the most recent data that I could find. Why I pulled it. I would imagine it's bigger now than it was back in 2014. I have no idea, to be honest with you. So anyway, that's but yeah, when I showed her that, I was like, she goes, well, yeah, you need to do something with this, and I'm like, okay. I don't know anything about esports, but I'm gonna try. Josh Audi, and another guy, they're a little bit more familiar with it. I'm kind of riding on their coattails. But anyway, this interview is about you, not about me. So how long have you been in esports at all?
Oh man, probably. I mean, I've been a gamer pretty much my whole life, so it's hard to narrow down exactly when. I played COD 4 competitively back in the day. I wasn't ever anything special, but I had a team and all that. We played tournaments and scrims and whatnot. I must have been 13, 14 at the time. As far as my professional career in it, that pretty much started about 2 years ago with Omnisports helping out Viet and Chad. We were doing those tournaments and stuff and
Mhm.
seeing how big that was getting. It was awesome. The people I met during that was I wouldn't trade for anything. And then PUBG, I just kind of picked it up after a week after it came on Steam. Realized I was pretty damn good at it. Found a team, and then we ended up getting signed.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a little bit of, I mean, there's definitely skill involved, but there's still luck, man. I couldn't believe how quick it all happened. It was all within like 2 months of me buying the game and getting to that level. I was just like, I tried forever to go pro in Overwatch, and
Yeah.
I couldn't break into the scene. And then this one just like that, couldn't believe it.
So, PUBG. I know a lot of people who are watching this know what that means, but for those who
Hmm.
don't, what is that?
Oh, Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. It is a battle royale game. It's been on the top seller of Steam, I think, for at least 3 months now.
Hmm.
Uh, It is so much fun. I love it. It's you got we play mostly squads. It's basically you versus 25 other teams of 4 players, and you got to be the last to survive as the map closes in. And you got to be very tactical and very careful because you only got one life. That's it.
Okay, so that's when you're playing Call of Duty or Halo, as long as there's time, you
Yeah.
respawn, but that doesn't happen in this game.
Hmm. I think with that one life thing, it makes it so much more of an adrenaline rush because you have all that work that you just did, and it can be gone in an instant.
Right. Someone described it to me like the Hunger Games
Yeah,
almost.
it's very similar. It's based off the Battle Royale movie, if you've ever seen that.
Yes, I did see that. That was interesting.
It's based off of that.
That's pretty cool. So I I'm I have to ask this because I'm a console pleb. So
Hmm.
even when I play on PC, I got my Xbox 360 controller here, and
Oh,
so usually
I mean,
when
I
I
got.
play first person shooters, I get slaughtered. So do you play mouse and keyboard then?
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Like it gives you like it's just on the freedom of movement. You have so much more with mouse. Not that I'm dissing console players or anything. It's just preference, really. But
yeah,
you just have more freedom of movement, and that's just kind of inherent, design difference between the mouse and the controller.
right. When you do play with a controller, do you play inverted?
Depends on the game. Like Rocket League and like War Thunder, I'll hop on a controller and stuff like that when I'm playing just casual games, and I'll invert that. Yes, just because when Rocket League involves flying and War Thunder obviously involves flying, I have to have that realistic control. I'm used to playing on joystick.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. How about with a mouse? Because I just discovered that, like, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, even with a mouse, I invert." And I'm like, "What? Do you?"
No, 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 I can't do it.
Yeah, that's too weird.
It'd be interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm willing to try it, but I don't think I'd like it.
he was like, it's like you jammed a stick into the top of your character's head and you're moving him around. And I'm like, no, I understand the concept. It's weird. I don't know why anybody would do that, but
Teach their own.
he swore by it. So in PUBG, is it out of was it an early access game? Is it out of
It is still early access.
early access? That's interesting.
Um,
Such a huge community has grown
I
out of
know, right?
a
It
game
actually
that's
beat.
technically in beta.
I think it actually peaked at 581,000 concurrent players.
Wow.
It actually beat out. It's beat out GTA for concurrent players. I think it beat out CS:GO for a few days in a row for total players, and that's insane.
Yeah.
To beat out those big names like that, and it's still in early access. It just shows the insane popularity. You go on Twitch right now. I bet you it's the top streamed game right now.
I wouldn't doubt it. And like Grand Theft Auto 5, I don't know about because they when they first released, they were on 360 and PS3. I'm pretty sure since the PC, Xbox One, PS4 ports came out, that game's been in the top 10 NPD every month.
It's in the top 10 every month, but they had a big issue this last month. I don't know if you're paying attention to the news on it. Basically, Take-Two Interactive, which is kind of in charge of the online portion, they completely disallowed single-player mods and pissed off the whole community.
No kidding.
So if I don't know if it's improved, but if you go to their Steam profile page on Grand Theft Auto, last I checked, it was like at 9% for
Yeah,
recent reviews. It was people were trashing on it just because Rockstar and Take Two are just all about the money now, and I don't know. It's kind of disappointing to see the route it goes. And GTA has a big problem of false positive bans. Basically, a hacker can teleport to you, drop money on you, and you get banned permanently.
wow,
And that's a huge problem right now. They haven't really found a way to solve it, and they haven't been issuing any unbans.
that really stinks.
So yeah, it kind of killed the community. It's sad to see.
Yeah, that's awful. I'm being told by somebody listening that my microphone is quiet. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
Okay. I'm unfortunately I don't have this thing hooked up to like a what do you call it? Like a soundboard or anything. So it's just whatever the mic is sending out and whatever Windows is getting. I mean, I could do this microphone boost, but I'm afraid I'll start. Do I sound funny now?
No, you don't sound funny. It's louder, but
Okay.
it's not. That's not any.
Okay. I was afraid like it'd start distorting or something. Let's go with that. Um, so I assume you do a lot of streaming.
I try to. Right now, my internet is not cooperating as well as I'd like. I pay for 300 over 30, and I get like 300 over 2 upload. My upload is just,
Oh,
and I've had 5 technicians out. They just don't know what it is. They can't figure it out. They know they know there's a problem, but they won't fix it.
that really
And
stinks.
it's really killing me because I'm supposed to stream a certain amount of hours every week for my organization and stuff, and it's just frustrating as all hell.
So as that's part of the you being on the team, you have to
Yep.
stream so long. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it like being on a team and like you have all these rules and stuff now that you have to follow?
It's honestly not that bad. The SetToDestroyX has been very good to us so far. They have, I mean, I got an automatic Twitch partnership, and I didn't have to go through all the hassle of getting that the normal route, which is hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're sending us care packages of equipment and stuff, and they've been very very good to us. They really just kind of let us do our own thing. I am the captain and the shot caller for my team, so really a lot of the organization and making the team practice and stuff, that's all falls on me to make sure people actually get stuff done.
Okay. Does the team play other games or is it just the one?
That's our primary focus. SetToDestroyX has multiple other teams for multiple other games, but we're specifically contracted on for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Okay.
We all play some other games sometimes just to relax and get our minds off stuff, but nah, that's mainly probably 90% of what we play.
So at the what was the name of the community college that you were working with again?
Butler.
Okay.
But
At
yeah.
Butler, are you a student there or
I'm not currently. I was,
okay?
and I worked in their IT tech department for quite a while. And they just hired me onto this position 3-4 weeks ago. It's been pretty recent. So
So was your major esports guru or something like that?
I still haven't finished my degree. I've been kind of bad on that front.
I know the feeling.
I've just had so much other stuff going on and so many other projects. Like my scholarly pursuits kind of weren't my priority at the time.
Right. So
I do plan
is
to go back and get my degree, but it's just I don't have the time or money right now.
mm-hmm. Is this your job or do you do something else, right?
The esports
Or do
coordinator
you
is my job.
okay.
It pays me pretty well,
So you're
honestly.
living the
Uh,
dream.
I know. I keep telling myself how lucky I am to have all this opportunity in the esports. Like that's what I've been trying. That's like every kid's dream is to be a pro
Oh
gamer
yeah.
or playing video games for a living, and that's what I do. And I'm just sitting here like, how the hell did I get so lucky?
I know like I look back I'm 33, so I'm a little
Mhm.
older than quite a few people who do this kind of stuff. But I think back on when I was a kid, and my first game console was the NES, and then I had a Super Nintendo and all that stuff. And my parents were, I mean, they weren't, obviously they weren't so super against video games that they wouldn't let us play at all, but they weren't crazy about my brother and I spending as much time on it as we did. And they would always say things like, "You'll never make any money playing video games."
Oh
And
yeah,
now I
no, that's
wanna
a
be like, hey, I personally am not yet, but I might.
it'll get there. It's it's crazy to see how the industry has blown up. Like even from like if you would have told me back in like 2007, I wouldn't have said it was very realistic to go into esports. But like I really think that the next 5 years are just going to be when esports just takes over.
Right.
I think this is the time to get into it.
So, like, I know, could you ever see maybe in the future a situation where, because I know everyone knows that kid who, from the time they were able to walk till, you know, college, their dad was like, "You're going to be a quarterback," and that's all they did. And you know, some of those guys go on to be Aaron Rodgers for the Green Bay Packers, and other guys wind up, you know, not doing anything with it at all. Could you see in the future some parent like shaping and molding their child to be the next great, I don't know, Pokemon master or something like that?
I mean, I'm sure that there's already things like that out there. Um, but I think it really just depends. Like if you're raising kids like that, you just gotta let them do what they want to do. You gotta support what their hobbies are. You gotta support what their dreams are, and you can't. I don't like to think that you can force your dreams on your kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if that's what they want to do, yeah, I'm gonna support them all the way. But again, too much video games can be a bad thing too. Even now, I limit myself just because I'll stay up too late. I won't get sleep and stuff like that. I gotta be an adult still.
Yeah. Obviously, you got every now and then you got to sit down and pay your bills because
Yeah.
no one's gonna do it for you. So that actually is a real good segue into, because I think some people they don't really see even people who are into video games, they don't see professional esports players and professional gamers like as that's a job. It's they just get to sit around and play video games all day, and that certainly is a lot of it, but surely you, like you were just saying, you have to limit yourself. I'm sure you have to watch, you know, what you eat, making sure that you're not sitting in a chair all
I
day
need
long. You
to.
got to get
I
up and
need to. Man,
exercise, and
I'm getting chubby.
yeah.
Um,
So that stuff's important, right?
yes, it is. Anything in excess could be bad, but you know, you have to use your time wisely. That time that you do spend on that, you need to make sure that you're doing what you can to improve. Just playing the game straight off won't make you that much better. You gotta work on your other skills as well.
Mhm.
You know, team communication is a big part of this game. If you can't communicate as a team, you're gonna lose.
Right.
And my team, I will say, we're not, you know, the four of the best individual players out there. You know, we're kind of, you know, we're definitely way above average, but we work so well together that we definitely beat other teams that are better skilled than us.
Mm-hmm.
So working on those other attributes is what we need to realize and work on as well, not just your shooting ability, not just your, you know, gameplay. There's
Right.
other aspects.
So how do y'all go about practicing that? You know, like a football team, obviously they'll have practices, they'll do scrimmages against each other on the team. Do y'all do that, or is it, since it's just as easy as hopping online and finding a game, is that your practice?
We do a lot of tournaments, and a lot of the smaller ones we use as just kind of practice, trying out new things and stuff like that. The tournaments that we like, this will be fun, but it's not our priority.
Mm-hmm.
Because I probably do 3, 4 tournaments a week now.
Oh wow.
Um, and I'm about to do one here at 7 o'clock tonight, and I'm hoping I can stream it. But again, my net, if it doesn't cooperate, that's that. But this is our one of our main ones. It's the PUBG Online Showdown series. You had to be top 18 teams last season to break into this, and we were sitting third, I believe, in North
Okay.
America. So we definitely broke into that, and we're playing tonight, and hopefully we can get we play 3 games, and hopefully we can get 3 wins.
Nice. So this tournament, is there Is there a prize at the end, or is it just for?
PlayerUnknown's, the creator, does not allow prize pools at the moment. He wants the game to be out of early access before he commits that. He wants the game to be ready for the esports scene before he commits to it, he says. It's obviously going that route, and the people I've been working with, we're definitely going to DreamHack Atlanta. There's going to be a prize pool there. They're letting some of the bigger events have prize pools, but nothing as far as just people hosting their own stuff. They're not allowing. Germany here on the 23rd is hosting a $350,000 PUBG tournament in Cologne, Germany. But they're mostly just inviting, instead of teams, they're inviting content creators like streamers, YouTubers, and stuff like that. So it's not really the best teams you'll see going there, unfortunately.
Okay. So you mentioned a person with PUBG. Is this game made by one guy? I mean, I know that's pretty common. Minecraft was one guy for a while, and Cave Story was one guy. So
he was originally on the team for H1Z1 King of the Kill, and he did not like the route it was going. So he decided, it was like, screw it, I'm going to go make my own game. And thus PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds came about. Stamping his name on there. It's such a weird name that people look at and go, "What is that even?"
Yeah, the first time somebody talked to me about it, they're like, "Oh, do you play PUBG?" And I'm like, "What are you? Do you bar hop?" I don't understand what you just said to me. And then even after they spelled out the whole name of the game, I still was like,
"You don't know what it is." Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. What is that?
And he's been right now. I am super happy with the developers because for an early access title, that always scares me.
Right.
It could be one of those that are infinite early access. Like once they sell a ton, they just kind of just stop development because they got the money they're gonna get. And I was like, all right, well, we're done. But no, he's been very, very communicative with the community. We've seen the game versus what it was now versus what it was 3 months ago has completely changed. It's been optimized. We've had a lot of new stuff added. Like they've been doing a great job, and I'm super impressed with the developer, honestly.
Well, that's awesome. So you guys play this game that, as far as I can tell from how you're describing it, other people describe it, it comes down to the last person left alive wins.
Yep.
But you're on a team. How does that work?
I mean, it's last team standing, and the circle will eventually, there's a circle that closes in on the map, and it'll close in on a random location on this 8 by 8 kilometer island. So it's a huge, huge map, and it'll come down to a circle that's 10 meters wide.
Oh wow!
And you'll have to eventually, if you're the last guy standing, even if the rest of your team is dead and you're the last guy standing, you win.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple. Last guy standing wins. Last team standing, even if it's not a complete team.
Right. Okay. So if you get down to there's only 2 people left, but it's you and one of your teammates, is just the game over, or do one of y'all have to kill the other one?
Nope. The game's over at that point. There is 3 different game modes that you can queue into. You can queue into solo, duo, or squad. 1, 2, and 4. Solo games, yeah, it's you versus 99 other people, and that gets crazy. Duo, it's you versus 50 other teams with 2 players. Squad, 25. It just kind of scales that. But squads is definitely a lot more tactical. You have to really think about your engagements, how you want to use your environment, know what kind of loadout your team has and stuff like that. Use every advantage you can to win, and then sometimes stuff happens and you can't prevent losing. Like I was chasing, because there's vehicles in the game, I was chasing this car down and I hit this tiny bump and it just rolled us on our side, and there was just a team just like right there, and we were in the middle of the road, no cover, and I was just like, well, we lose. But that's kind of what makes the game fun, is that it's so hard to honestly win a game. Like I think if you think about it, with 25 other teams, if you are an average player, you should win about 4% of the time. I think right now my squad win rating, I'm sitting at about 40%. I win my games.
Okay.
So, and that's really hard to do. But like I said, I have a really good team, and I'm really happy to be part of them.
So the name of the organization is SetToDestroyX. That's right. So go ahead.
They're based out of Canada, they are decently big in the Rocket League scene and a couple other games. They've been deploying to a lot of new games lately, so they're trying to pick up as many teams as possible and get their name out there. But I mean, I've been playing against the likes of Cloud9, TSM, Elevate. I've been playing against these guys, and like honestly, Cloud9's not very good. They are. I don't know the people they picked up. I mean, I played with them before they got signed, and I'm like, they got a couple of good guys, but a couple of guys, I'm just like, how?
If anyone from Cloud9 is listening, the gauntlet has been thrown. You've been challenged.
Well,
So, go ahead.
I think in that series, I think they in some of the tournaments we played in, we were sitting like fourth, fifth place, and they were sitting like 12th, 13th place. And you think Cloud9 would? You think they'd find better talent than that with such a big name?
Right. So, how did it come about that you wound up on Set to Destroy? Did they approach you? Did you like apply like you were applying for a job? How does that work?
It's actually a funny story. So when the first couple of tournaments started popping up, and I was pretty high ranked, and I was like, okay, I bet I can find a good team. I joined this one team, and I quickly realized that I was the best player by a long shot on this team. Not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but it was just like it wasn't there. So I left this team for another team, and then one of my old teammates who saw how well we were doing was actually he was a streamer for SetToDestroyX. He's a dedicated streamer for SetToDestroyX. He's like, hey man, I see you're doing well in this. Let me hit up my guys and see if they want to sign a PUBG team. And then yeah. So the guy I left his team for got me signed on for another team. So I mean, it's just, and he had told me he was part of an organization and stuff like that, but I was just like, okay, that's cool. A lot of people say that kind of stuff ends up being some podunk thing, but I had no idea it was that scale. And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, like let's do this.
Nice. So for those of you watching this or listening at home, you can find Set to Destroy X online at settodestroyx.com. And does the organization have like Facebook, Twitter, Twitch,
yes,
things like that?
Yes, okay. Pretty much SetToDestroyX. Just search that anywhere and you'll find it on Twitter. They have a dedicated Twitch channel that their streamers kind of rotate in and through, as well as just all their organization that you can find. I think we're looking at there's probably 50 to 80 people as part of this organization.
Oh, so it's pretty big.
It's actually pretty big, yeah. And this is what they do. Like the guy who owns it, he does this full time.
Wow. So how are y'all supported financially?
They really just gave us a Twitch partnership, and the sponsors send us stuff. But until there's prize pools, the org really doesn't want to pay us anything because they're not going to get any kind of return. Right. But they said like we have in our contract in good faith kind of stipulations in there to where if the esports scene changes or things are going a different route, we can edit that contract at any time, depending on the state of the scene. But until the game gets out of early access, they're kind of waiting to support us financially. But they pay if we go to a LAN event, say like in Canada coming here in September, they pay for our flights, our hotel, everything. The only thing we have to pay for is food, they said.
Nice.
So that's awesome. Like, and I'm gonna get the chance to travel the world playing video games, man. That's the big thing. I think, like I said, September we have Canada. In October we have Denver, and then I'm not sure what else past then, but I know there's gonna be more. And this is a year contract that I signed back in June, so this really just started.
Okay. So all these tournaments that you go to, people can watch them online somewhere.
Yes,
most of the time, anyway, right?
And I can link you to those. You can either check them on my channel when I can stream, but like with my net being the way it is right now, it's not cooperating. But twitch.tv/PUBG Online is where the games will be streamed tonight. All 3 of my games will be streamed. You'll be able to see me playing if they happen to be spectating anytime. But I will say I feel bad for the spectators in PUBG, the shoutcasters, because usually when you're shoutcasting a game, it's 5 versus 5. Mm-hmm. Here, you got to look at, huge map, 25 different teams, and you got to decide which conflicts to watch, which ones to shoutcast. It's really hard to keep up with everything that's going on, and it's hard to give everybody the same amount of screen time.
Right. So you have to forgive my ignorance. What is Shoutcast?
That's like basically a sportscaster for the video game. They're in the spectator slot and they're being like they're calling out the engagements as they go on. You're like, oh, it's a triple kill, you know, like and
Oh,
it's like
so it's
move around and all.
like a football commentator.
Yeah. There's usually two of them on there, and they are going around the map and kind of looking and calling stuff out, you know.
Mhm.
So it's not just some guy just hovering over in silence.
Right. So in these games, then you said there's a spectator mode.
Yes, they only allow for one spectator currently, so two of the guys had to be sitting at the same machine. So it's kind of
Okay.
it's early. They said they're going to make spectator improvements soon. They already have a little bit. The spectator, as it sits right now, is actually not that bad, but definitely needs some improvements before it's ready for full esports scene.
Okay. Because I think the only game I've heard of that I've played that had a spectator mode like built into the game, I want to say it was Hearthstone. Now that I think about it, I know like I was telling you before or no, I guess I mentioned this during the stream. I do mostly console games, so I got a Switch.
What are you
And
playing right now?
so a lot of I had my son in town. He's 8 years old, and he most of the time lives with his mother up in about 8 hours away from where I'm at. But I had him all summer. He loves Mario Kart, so we played Mario Kart 8 a whole bunch while he was down here. But the game that I'm trying to get into and hoping to maybe get good enough to be competitive is Splatoon 2. I think I'm okay at it, and it's a new enough game that like there was only one other game before it, and
and
there were like 14 million Wii U's sold. So the number of possible people that have been playing this for a really long time is, I mean, I realize 14 million that's a big number, but when you consider how many people are in the world, I figure that number
and I
is
bet a lot of that is overseas versus
right.
America. Unfortunately, the esports scene is late taking off here compared to especially in Asia. They they are all about that over there.
Right. I've heard of people that play where's StarCraft's popular somewhere. Is
Oh,
it
Korea,
South
South
Korea?
Korea.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it's
Um,
popular in North Korea.
I don't know that much anything is popular except for the Kim Jong family. I don't think anything's popular in North Korea. Although he's only popular because he has to be, or
Oh no,
he'll get in
he's
trouble.
forced to be. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so I've been trying Splatoon 2, and my son's only been gone since Sunday, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to pour time into. And that was the thing, like I would have loved to have played that more over the summer, but without a second Switch and a second copy of the game, that's not something he and I could play
How
together.
old's your son right now?
He's 8.
Okay. So my question for you is when you're playing Mario Kart, do you let him win or do you teach him that the world's unfair?
Oh, I teach him that the world's unfair, and I do that because he's getting better.
I mean,
Now,
only way to get better is play against people better than you.
exactly. He's super into Star Wars. And when the first Battlefront came out, he was like, "Oh, we got to get Battlefront." And I played the beta for PC and
It
was
was
like,
disappointing.
"Yeah, it was just like
disappointing.
it's not that great." But
Go give him the old one, the Battlefront 2, the old one. That's
if
what you need to get him.
if I had an old, oh wait, I do have a PS2 now. A friend of mine moved and he didn't want it, so he gave it to me.
There you go. See, that game is.
I should have done that.
I'll pop that into my. I have an old PSP. I'll pop that in and play that sometimes. I'm on the road and stuff.
Yeah. So he begged me for that, and well, it was like $30 one day at Best Buy or something. So I went ahead and picked it up, and he crushes me. It's not even close, and it's weird because it's not like he's just better at shooters than me. Because when he and I play Halo, I'm usually on top. Now that's not to say that he doesn't win every now and then. He's gotten pretty good at Halo, but Battlefront, I don't know if it's just I don't understand how the game works or what, but it's like he's way up here and I'm down, not even in the screen.
But that's awesome though.
Yeah, it's great. I love that he's getting good at it and he enjoys it. And he at first he really hated when he would lose and he would, because he's a little kid and his life's not fair. And I'd be like, yeah, you're right. Life's not fair. Get good. And now he's getting better. He had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so that's the Switch version, has a lot of assist tools, like there's a steering assist and things like that.
Oh man, you
And
gotta turn all
so,
that stuff off.
well, he had been playing with it on, and then one day he opened up my profile instead of his and started playing, and so he didn't even know that the steering assist wasn't on because I don't have it on. And he gets to the end of it, and I notice what profile he's on. I'm like, buddy, do you realize you've been playing without steering assist? And he goes, I have. I'm like, yeah. It was, kind of like
Is he winning?
yeah, I mean, like, second, third place. I don't think he ever
Yeah,
got
that's not
first.
bad,
But
especially
yeah,
with like.
he was doing pretty good, and so it reminded me. Have you seen Dumbo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the cricket or whatever convinces him that the feather will make him fly, and then he's like,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't. That kind of thing. So, yeah, it was really exciting to see him do that. So I want to get him a Switch for when he's back with his mom, but they're really hard to find. I got lucky when I got mine. It was the day that they went up for pre-order. I got off work.
Oh man,
I
yeah.
rushed to GameStop, and I'm like, please tell me you still have one. And they're like, we got 2 left. And I went, okay, give me one. And, a copy of Zelda.
One of my coworkers somehow managed to get their hands on 2 of the NESs.
What?
I don't know how.
Oh,
Like,
my
she was like,
word.
yeah, I just went to the store and they were there. I'm like, you realize those are sold out like instantly. I don't understand how you even went to the store and found them.
That's
Like,
crazy.
I think she went to, it was some like Best Buy out way south of here. Can't remember where, but it's near the Oklahoma border. And she was like, yeah, I just went in there to grab something real quick and I saw them there. So I ended up picking up both of them. I was just like, that's so lucky because I bet you those things are gonna be worth money someday because they're limited time, and super big.
I've never seen one in real life. I've only seen them on the internet.
They're hard to get your hands on, but I played on one for a bit. They're pretty fun. But a couple of my coworkers made Raspberry Pi retro machines where you can pay like thousands and thousands of, and that's really cool. We'll sit there at work sometimes when we're bored and just play retro games.
Yeah. CrossForge Gaming does not condone the stealing of ROMs and blah 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 legal stuff.
Yes, so. yes. yes.
Yeah,
that's just it. It was all legally acquired quotations.
Right, exactly. I really want a SNES Classic, but I have a feeling they're going to be about as hard to find as the NES.
Yeah.
So I'm not counting on it. I'm also really upset that the connector, because the controllers are wired, is actually the connector that goes into your Wii remote. And I'm like, well, yeah, it'd be great for a Wii or Wii U, but
yeah, but
it doesn't.
USB,
it doesn't
nice.
work on the system that you're currently selling because that's all USB. Why aren't you doing this? And I love Nintendo. I love their games. They make some of the weirdest business decisions.
They really do. They really do.
Ever.
But I think they know their crowd pretty well, though. At the same time, like if they make some of the weird peripheral and stuff like that, they make some weird decisions. But as far as the games they produce, they're generally pretty consistent.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they definitely know their crowd because no matter what dumb thing they do, I buy their stuff. So I'm not one to talk.
Well, I grew up on a Game Boy Advance and GameCube. That was what I started on.
Mm-hmm.
And I still got my GameCube here somewhere, but I think all my controllers got broke when I moved.
So the nice thing about them continuing GameCube controller support for Smash Brothers is you can actually get GameCube controllers brand new.
Oh yeah, like I
nice.
play Smash against Vietnam occasionally, and I can't stand using the Wiimotes or even the Pro controller. It's just not the same.
Terrible. No, and it's weird because no other game that I can think of do I care that much. Like the buttons are just buttons. I'll adjust, but with Smash Brothers, it just doesn't work without that controller.
I honestly think that GameCube controller design was really good. They did a really good job on button layout because you can kind of roll your thumb on all the buttons instead of having to actually put it up. It was so good. Much better than the N64. That was kind of a dark age for Nintendo.
I come to the N64 controller's defense all the time, but I tell everybody the games that were built specifically for it, it's great for. But anything else, no, it's terrible. When like, I don't know, Resident Evil came out for N64. I didn't play it because I probably played the PlayStation version, but I'm sure that controller was just miserable because it was designed around the PlayStation controller. And
I don't know why they thought like you had to be like a three-handed alien to manipulate that thing properly. Like it's just like I would have like I'd always like set it down and use my hand like this over the top of it, and then use the other button normally because that was the only way I could get it to work right on certain games.
I knew people who would hold it like on the outside two prongs and then stretch their thumb over to the.
Oh, dude, that just hurt.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's a handle in the middle for that, right? And they're like, yeah, but then I can't hit the L button. I'm like, when do you need to hit the L button? Never.
My girlfriend's calling me, but
oh,
I don't need to take it right now. I'll call her back.
You tell her you're busy. I'm not promoting myself, baby.
No, but I've been part of the PUBG Online podcast they had the other day. It was me and another player, and then two of the admins that sat there and just talked about the PUBG scene as a whole. And that was a lot of fun. And I'm happy to be on this. This is really cool to see that you guys are trying to branch out with what you're doing. And I'll support you guys any way I can.
Well, thank you. So that the PUBG podcast, where can we find that?
I'll get you a link to it.
Okay. I'm sure if you're listening at home and you're interested, you can probably, if you've got iTunes, search it in iTunes, Google Play. I don't use either one of those. I use, what's it called? Pocket Cast. So sometimes I need the RSS link or I can't find it because Pocket Cast doesn't find everything just by searching.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to videos. Where is it? There we go.
So was this a video podcast like this one is? Is it on YouTube somewhere?
Yes. I'm trying to find the link to it right now.
Cool. So this stage name that you have written down, do you pronounce that Riker?
Rykar.
Is that related in any way to the Star Trek character Riker? No,
there's really no inspiration behind it. I just wanted something that would like sound decent for a professional setting because I had some goofy names before I went over to this name just because I needed something more professional sounding.
Last time I sent out resumes for a job, my wife was helping me build it, and she looks at my email address and she goes, "Do you seriously not have another email address that sounds more professional than Patty Cakes 1984?" And I went, "No, but I mean I can make one." And she goes, "No, we'll just use this."
All right, I'm giving you two links to that video. One's on Twitch and one's on YouTube.
Okay, and we'll make sure these are in the description down below.
If you want to see more, check out the PUBG scene. I am going to be doing some coaching for PUBG here soon. One of the tournament organizations that we're part of wants to get the professional players together and start coaching people that want it. So if anybody wants to start a team and get better, I'd be more than happy to help them out and see what they can do.
So is there a feature in the game that would allow you to do that, or do you just have to watch a stream of it?
I'm just gonna have to watch a stream of them playing, review their VODs and stuff like that. You can kind of tailor your service to what you want to do. I could just do VOD reviews if you want, or I can sit there while you practice and watch it and give you live, feedback, and as well as feedback after you die or win. Say like, this is what you need to do better. This is what you need to focus on. Because in combat, communication is where most teams fall short. They get all, and start freaking out and don't communicate with what they're doing. Like if I'm even going over the next little tiny hill and be like, all right, I'm going over this hill, you got to communicate every single thing so your team knows what you're doing and the angles that you have.
Well, that's cool, man. We got coaches in video games and professional video game players, and then whatever the heck PewDiePie does. I don't understand.
I'm still waiting on my G Fuel to get here. They're sending us a monthly supply of G Fuel.
Is that a drink? I'm not familiar.
Yeah, it's like a powder, water additive thing.
Okay.
And I've heard it's pretty good, but I haven't had a chance to try it.
What if you try it and you hate it?
I'll get a different flavor next month. I got cherry limeade first. I'm kind of see if it's gonna be good.
I've always wondered, you get these celebrity sponsors for try this Big Mac, and I'm like, what if he hates that thing? Like, you
I
know,
mean, that's just.
off camera, he's like, "This is the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life."
I mean, I think they won't really care as long as you don't do it on camera and you're still repping them. Like
That's true.
they,
And
they don't they want the exposure. They don't need you to like it necessarily.
yeah, and the celebrity doesn't care as long as the check clears. He'll say whatever you want. Which, I mean, hey, who am I to talk? If somebody waved $1 million in my face and said, "Tell everybody how much you like cherry Coke," I'd be like, "Sure."
It's the best drink in the world.
Stuff's the bomb. Just hook it up to my veins. Just bypass all that.
Dude, Vanilla Coke's my favorite. I drink way too much of that stuff.
Being in the South, sweet tea. I live off the stuff.
Yep.
It's so good.
I never really drunk tea until my roommate got me into it. He goes like some spice merchant downtown and gets all this like crazy flavored tea and makes it like Asian style basically, and it's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been drinking a lot of lately.
See, if I could get some sweet tea brand, like we have this brand down here. I don't know if they'd sell it nationwide or not, but it's called Milo's. If Milo's wants to sponsor me, I'll shill that stuff all day long. Heck, I would between every game take a little drink of Milo's and be like, "This stuff is the bomb. You should buy it." But I don't know if they sell it nationwide. I think it's based down here somewhere.
So are you in what state?
I'm in Florida.
Oh, okay.
And I'm in the part of Florida that around here we call it the Panhandle, but a lot of people around the country call it Southern Alabama. We don't like that name a whole lot, but it's what we get called. Although, and again, going back to football, a lot of people around here like the Alabama college football team, so we may as well be part of the state, I guess. I don't know. So the first time that I left the state, like to live, and I was going up to college, and I had a roommate, and he got in touch with me before I left, and we're talking, and it's real late at night, and he's like, "Well, you know, I should let you go. It's like 11 o'clock where you are." And I look at my watch, and I'm like, no, it's 10. And he goes, no, it's not. You're on the Eastern time zone. And I went, I mean, most of Florida is in the Eastern time zone, but I'm in the Central time. He did not believe me. He got a map out and looked because he thought I was lying to him. And I'm like, no, everything this side of Tallahassee is in the Central time zone. I don't know what.
I wouldn't think that either, though.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think I was lying to you, right? I don't look like that kind of guy, do I? Yeah. See, he just straight up thought I was a liar, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I want to share a room with you. You don't trust me. It makes me
just about time zones. Just about time zones.
Yeah, just like everything else he seemed cool about. It was just geography. He was like, nope, I'm not having any of that. So, we've been going about almost an hour.
Yeah.
Not quite. Anything else you want to add? Anything you want anybody to know that you're doing, where to follow you, stuff like that?
Just go. I would love any support you guys can give me. Just go follow me on Twitch. That's Sir Raikar, SIRRAIKAR. And then my Twitter is just STDX Raikar. I just tune in and support the community, and I will hopefully be winning some tournaments for you guys to watch. But we'll see.
Is there a way anybody can buy, like, you got t-shirts or?
Yes. On our website, you can buy a jersey like this one. You can get cups, hoodies, a whole bunch of other stuff, as well as discounts on Turtle Beach, Logitech, G Fuel, a whole bunch of other stuff. We got a whole bunch of sponsors that you can get discounts with. So
cool.
Yeah.
What if I want a t-shirt with your face on it? Can I get one of those?
I don't think it'll come from them, but I'm sure we can arrange something. If you really want it.
Someone just take a screen cap out of this and do a little, I don't even know how to make a t-shirt. Here I am talking about what the heck do I know? So, thanks for talking to me. This was fun.
Yeah. I had a great time, man. It was good meeting you.
We'll definitely have to have you back on. This is going to be a regularly occurring show. We don't have like a set schedule like I do. I don't know if you've seen that goofy show that I do every Thursday, Patty Plays Pathetically, where I just am really bad at a game. What did I played. What did I play this weekend? Oh, Mighty Number 9. I
I haven't
played.
played that one. I haven't played
I
that one.
I had never played it. It was in a humble bundle. In fact, I think it's still in that humble bundle, along with it's with Saints Row, which is weird.
Saints Row was fun though. Like I played 2
Yeah.
and 3 back in the day. I think what do they up to, like 5 now?
I don't know that it's numbered 5, but there is one after 4. So yeah, there's quite a few of them out there. But anyway, I picked that up and I had never played it. And I mean, of course, I didn't back it on Kickstarter, so I didn't have the attachment to it that a lot of people did. So while I didn't think it was amazing, I also didn't think it was the piece of hot garbage that I had been told that it was. So that was, I mean, yeah, if you like Mega Man, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't like this game.
Yeah, dude, I grew up on platformers like Metroid and Mega Man. Metroid was always my go-to. Metroid Fusion for Game Boy Advance. Oh man, I know like that game. I probably beat that 4 or 5 times when I was a kid.
You excited about Metroid Prime 4?
I hope it's good. I'm trying not to hype myself because if I buy into hype, I'm just gonna get disappointed. I try not to hype myself up for any games anymore, just because I mean, if you look at prime examples like No Man's Sky and stuff, and people bought into the hype, and just it was that No Man's Sky, it was a mile wide and everything you could do, but it was an inch deep. Didn't have any depth to the game at all.
Yeah. It doesn't do any good to have a huge landscape if there's nothing to do in it. So.
Yeah, like it was just, and charging $60 for it was like, oof.
Yeah, I think you can find it for like $20 now.
Yeah, but still, it's probably not even worth that. I know it just died.
Someone told me that I should play that for Patty Plays Pathetically, and I'm like, you want to watch me wander around an empty planet for an hour? That doesn't sound like fun.
If they would have included the features that they said were going to be in the game, it would have been awesome. But the fact that they just straight up lied about so much. Like, there's people going back looking at videos of the developer and be like, you said this was going to be in the game, this.
Right.
And then just none of that.
and it's different from, like, because developers overpromise all the time, but there's a difference in, hey, I wanted to do this and we just couldn't do it.
Well, it's the difference when you portray it as a multiplayer game.
Right, and it's not.
And then, like, day one, people find out it's not. They're just like, you didn't even tell anybody about it. Like, you just let people figure out that it wasn't there.
Yeah, that's bad business. If you're an indie developer out there, don't do that. What was I saying? We got off on a tangent. I like tangents. I'm not complaining. They're fun. But I was this show. It's so like Patty Plays Pathetically is weekly. This is gonna be just whenever I have a new one. I have 3 more interviews lined up. Only one of them is scheduled. And we're still not sure how we're going to distribute this. There's talk of, well, I don't want to bore people with business stuff. That and if my business partners are listening to this, they're probably like, don't tell them how the sausage is made. So
well, if you need anybody else for interviews, I know quite a few people, both here in my local scene as well as just the PUBG scene.
Sweet.
A lot of people doing some interesting stuff in the esports as a whole. So anything you need from me, I'm more than happy to provide for you. And I'm willing to help you guys out any way I can.
If you could get me a French Canadian that only speaks French,
I could probably find that. I think I actually know so.
That would be entertaining because I don't speak any French, and so it would just be
an interesting interview.
Yeah, it was just 2 of us making noises at each other, not really having any idea what's going on.
Pasting the Google Translate in the chat.
That would be the best. Doesn't like Siri do like an auto translate thing?
I have no idea.
I have an Android. I have
an Android. I have never owned a single Apple product, and I wear that as a badge of honor.
Oh, you awesome lucky person. I've owned 2, and I
will not buy into that. I will not buy into that. They're an evil company.
I mean, I don't know if they're evil. I just don't like their products. Okay, if they're evil, Google probably also is.
Oh, I mean, every company that big does some sketchy stuff.
Right. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for watching. Again, thank you, Andrew, for
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
thank you.
It was awesome. And we will see you see you folks. Oh, I guess I should plug CrossForge Gaming at least a little bit. So you can find us at crossforgegaming.com. That'll take you to our Facebook page, which will then get you to our YouTube channel, which you're actually already on if you're watching this, so you probably don't need that. We really want to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube so that we can stop having a URL that is youtube.com/gibberish.
Well, let me go ahead and give you one more. I'll get you 60.
Sweet. That'd be awesome. And tell your friends. We are also have a community at facebook.com/groups/CrossForge Gaming. And then please check out our Patreon page, which is at patreon.com/CrossForge Gaming. You can give us as little as $1. You can give us as much as $8 billion. I actually don't know if there's a ceiling. You might be able to go over 8 billion. I'm not expecting any of y'all to test that though. So don't worry about it. All right. That's going to do it. Thanks again. And we'll see y'all later. Have a good one.
Thanks again. Bye.